10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
What is going on, Blerdverse, and welcome back to another episode for the Blerd Tree. My name is RJ.
My name is Trigger Trey, the Fly Spider guy.
You already know what it is. Hero Harrison's in the building.
And today we're going to be covering episode 5 of Moon Knight. Joining us today, as always, we have Killer Cam from Blerd Up. What's going on, man?
What's up? I'm ready to get into this episode, man.
And back again, joining us is D Movieman. What's going on, bro?
What's going on? Happy to be here.
Yeah, we're glad to have you back. This episode was definitely draining. We do have some discussions that we need to have. But before we get into our discussions in a kind of like deeper way, I want to know you guys' overall thoughts on the episode. We'll start with D.
All right, so I appreciated the episode. I'm definitely happy that we're in. I actually was discussing this with someone else that definitely we are, especially after the last couple of years. I think we are definitely in a space where we can discuss mental health and we can discuss, trauma and experiences in life and kind of understand how that informs our experiences as an adult. We got some of that with WandaVision, and so we're kind of circling back around with Moon Knight. And so I appreciate the episode overall. If there was anything I would say, it's simply that because this season is only 6 episodes, I almost feel like, even though I appreciate everything that's in it and what it's saying, it almost feels like there's not enough time to have an episode like this and then progress the story and then, everything that's happening and then close out in one more episode. So I appreciated it, but as far as fitting into the overall season, it's like we don't get to really expand from here. So that's kind of my main issue.
Cool. And Cam, what's your thoughts?
I hated this episode with a passion, but not because of the content, just because I literally, kid you not, I sold my soul a long time ago for Newports and whiskey, and I should not be feeling these feelings, man. So wonderful episode. I think they've done a really good job of connecting the dots, which is, I feel like, what we got here. So I'm ready to jump in.
Jay, what you think, man?
That was a good episode. It's not over yet, so we still got some questions that need to be answered. And I thought just overall, I love the aspect, as D said, with the mental health and talking about issues like that in our past. So great episode.
Yeah. What about you, Trey?
Honestly, I felt the same as D. I really do like that we are putting more of the mental health aspects into these shows and showing more of that. But then I also felt like although I loved everything in the episode, I thought it was like really good. It was touching, it was emotional, but I also felt like we didn't really get answers. We didn't see what was going on with the plot of the story. And since we only have one more episode, I feel like they're just going to kind of force feed us the rest of the plot, the rest, like whatever is supposed to happen next. Because we got little bits of information of what's happening with the plot line of the whole story, but that was like kind of it. We didn't see anything.
Yeah, that's fair. I feel like we all kind of have a general consensus of that we enjoyed the episode, but we still understand that we definitely didn't get as many answers as we were hoping to get. But judging the episode alone, I feel like we all are pretty pleased with what we had to what we sat through. Good episode. So I guess y'all want to dive into the review and talk about everything that happened.
Let's get to it, man.
All right,
let's get it.
So the opening scene, and I want to, I gotta give it to Dr. Harrow. He is really good at gaslighting the hell. Oh, I want to highlight this comment too. They said Games with Keanu said we need more episodes, but hopefully there's a season 2. Is there going to be a season 2? Because IMDb has it listed as a miniseries.
Not sure. I feel like
Oscar Isaac probably did the smart thing here to not lock himself into a long contract, give himself a little bit more freedom. So,
yeah,
who knows?
I guess we'll see. I don't know. I mean, I'm content. If it depends on how they wrap it up, I'll be content with it just continuing being like a movie series. And I don't know, but hopefully we'll get more Moon Knight either way. So Doc Harrell is very good at gaslighting Mark. And I'm not gonna lie, it was pissing me off when he was saying, like, does that sound like sense or nonsense? Because we're watching this man experience this hippo. And it just, I don't know, it kind of rubbed me the wrong way and it was pissing me off. What do y'all think about that? Dr. Harrell and the whole gaslighting psychologist shit.
You know, I think that this is a portrayal of a psychiatrist from Mark's mind. So I don't think if like not Kevin Bacon was actually playing was actually playing a psychiatrist, he would have been different the way he was playing it, but he's playing it from the perspective of Mark's mind because this is all a construct of him in this afterlife kind of area that they're in, you know. So I think that he's kind of gaslighting himself because he's like, this is nonsense. I am insane. This is crazy.
You know,
from that,
my dumbass did not catch that because I was like, well, how did he get in his brain? He kill him. I don't know why I didn't put two and two together that this is okay. Never mind. Wow.
There's a reason you didn't get it. There's a reason
because I'm psychotic like Mark too. Maybe
it was very subtle. I feel like they put subtle things in there to let you know that wasn't Harrow. That was basically Mark interrogating himself, trying to knock some sense into himself. So,
also, I got something for y'all. Y'all not gonna tell me they don't look the same? Y'all not gonna tell me they don't look the
same? No, they do. They really do.
They definitely do. But he got a new name this episode. He's now Ned Flanders. He's my neighbor. He's neighbor Ned Flanders now. So
Ned all the way. So I definitely didn't catch that. I do like the fact, and now that you say that, it kind of makes more sense because when he told him that this new animal character could be the thing that breaks down the wall between Mark and Steven, and it was kind of foreshadowing what we were going to see in the episode later on. So Jay, I never got your opinion. What do you think about this whole Dr. Harrow situation that he has going
on? Honestly, I think that it's, being steered the wrong way, trying to like wake him up to realize, to balance that scale.
Yeah.
To either just make him realize, what he's going to do is wrong or what he's going to do is right. So but either way, the scale is going to be balanced and the truth's going to come out. So that's my opinion.
Okay. Fair. So, and I also want to ask, because I need some clarity from you guys, when Mark, whenever he comes to a realization in Dr. Harrow's office, he snaps out of it. Like, so I don't know if I'm just like confused. So is he going from the office and just like popping up, or is this all happening everywhere all at once in his mind? Because I'm so confused about that.
Yeah. So basically, when he ends up back in the office, it's just like you try something, you fall down. What do? You start all over. The office is the reset. It's the designated reset place. So anytime he breaks, he goes back to that office and basically is trying to start again. But every time he has to go back, he's got more and more information now. So he's learning how to, I guess, navigate. I guess you want to call it. I don't know.
I guess that's fair.
Yeah, because if you even notice too, Steven, did say to Mark that, why would we make up this asylum place? Whose idea was that? He's like, it was your idea. So I mean, that place was just a place that was made up in their mind. So that was like the beginning of them, like, being in that place. But now they're like, oh wow, like we're here. So this is the reset.
I got a question for everybody on the panel. So if you guys were in Mark's and Steven's shoes, what would be your place?
The the McDonald's place.
What would be yours, D?
As just for clarity's sake, the place represents what? Just so I know.
So it's like your start over place. So when you meditate, you know, technically in your brain, you're supposed to go to a different plane, and that plane looks however you want it to look, I guess you want to say. So when you need to relax or you need to do some introspection, what would your dominion look like? I guess
A place of tranquility,
your safe space.
Right. It would either look like a personal library or a movie theater by myself.
Ooh.
Oh, okay.
Either
I like that.
because that's always where I feel at ease and at peace.
Okay.
Like
it's kind of the same thing. It's mine is more like a dive bar though.
Okay.
Like a dive bar, then it's usually, yes, this is a thing. It's usually whoever I've envisioned my bartender to be that I unload on. So
okay, cool.
It's a coping mechanism.
Gotcha. Yeah. What about you, Jay?
Probably like I'll just walk down the tunnel of like an aquarium and just see fish above me and stuff.
Oh,
Oh, that's
Yeah, just-
peaceful as hell. Yeah,
Just like open up a door, something like that.
I could fuck with that. Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
tight. I'm still sticking with my answer.
What was your answer again? McDonald's.
The play place at
Okay.
McDonald's.
At McDonald's. Okay,
But
not just the lobby, the play place. Okay, yeah. I think mine would be an arcade.
Ooh,
Yeah, mine would be an arcade. Yeah,
that'd be kind of cool.
yeah, that'd be dope. Yeah, that was cool. Interesting question. Just kind of get a little inside your brains a little bit. So I guess when they reset, Mark ends up freaking out, I guess realizing that he's dead, and I guess he's sort of like in denial, and he pushes the door open thinking it's going to be, you know, more orderlies and just more psychiatric staff, and he comes to find out that he's on, I don't want to say the boat of denial. The fuck is it?
The underworld
The Aura?
ship.
Aura? No, that's not it.
The Juat.
The Juat. Yeah.
Oh, for Egyptian, yeah, the Juat, yeah, for Egyptian history, yeah.
Yeah. And so what did you guys think about that reveal? I don't know if it was a NyQuil kicking in when I was watching it, but I was really like taken aback when he opened the door. Like you would think that I was, you know, it was, yeah, it just kind of took me off guard. What y'all think of that reveal that they were on the Juat Chapter?
I thought it was beautiful, honestly. When it opened up and he was like, "Oh my god, this is real." I was like, "This looks dope."
Yeah.
It's like this is like I thought we're getting a lot of really cool visuals in this show.
We are.
You know, we got Khonshu like turning back the space, the sky, and we're just getting a lot of really cool visuals, and it was just really dope. So I think that they are definitely paying more attention to detail with this show there's just more things that they can do visuals on in this show that we haven't really had before. So I really liked it. I thought it was dope.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think I might have mentioned it the last time we were on together, but you know, I've always been into Egyptian mythology, and I've read so many different stories, and you know, played games and watched movies and things like that. And so seeing it dive into that piece of it, and I don't know, just like the whole like as was said with the visuals and all of that, that is another piece to me that adds to what makes this perspective unique. Because of course, you know, we have superpowers, we have all these different figures and characters, but to me, that mythology piece is what makes this so unique, and other pieces as well. But that really hit home, so I enjoyed it.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I think that, I mean, I like this scene, but it didn't like blow me away. Just because I think I've seen stuff like, you know, we've been on like ship scenes where, you know, someone's on a ship and just things happen or whatever. But I mean, still visually, I mean, we are still getting a lot of great visuals from the show. So I'm not gonna knock that. Even just looking at like how the purple like color scheme was kind of just like just so visually like capturing like your eyes, and you're just like, wow, that is beautiful. But yeah, I don't know. I guess I'm saying that because I just want something to happen more. But
Jay wanted that door to open, an explosion happen or something. You wanted something. Michael Bay.
Exactly, because I want to see Michael Bay come through, and I want to see Michael Bay just press a button, and then just something explodes in back. I don't care what it is. It doesn't matter.
I kind of see what you're saying. I feel like this episode was more heartfelt and story driven than anything. And it was kind of one of those episodes that kind of makes you do a lot of thinking, like, not trying to skip over. Well, I guess it's not skipping, but the whole like balancing of the hearts thing. When I'm not taking NyQuil no more before and watching the show because like my brain was like, so who's making the scale imbalanced? Is it Mark's heart? Is it Steven's heart? But I thought they share everything. So don't they share a heart? So I was like, oh, do they just share a brain? So just that one scene, I literally had to pause it. And I was thinking for a good like 5 minutes, like, what the hell is going on? Why won't these scales balance? But I feel like didn't they allude to not being able to decide whether he was good or bad in another episode when they tried to judge the scale? So does that connect in any way?
Yeah. So the thing about this scene was this was the point where I realized this is wrong. This is extremely wrong. And the reason I say that because the journey that they were taking, even with the hippopotamus goddess Tarwete or whatever her name is, I can't pronounce it. Yeah. She's not supposed to be there. Yeah. That's not her job. And we were talking about that earlier, and I think I said that on the last episode. Like, why is she there? She's like childbirth and stuff like that. What is she doing there? So that was the first sign that something was wrong for me. But then also, there were like slips of Jake throughout this episode. Mm-hmm. So when you say it took you a while and it kind of got your brain going, I think that's what it was supposed to do. Because this scene bugged the hell out of me. Because again, now I've got another question mark here saying, why is she here? Yeah, and where is Anubis? Yeah. Like, where are they at? Like,
Kim, I have a question for you because I was looking for hints of Jake the whole time, and I couldn't figure out where they were. So, could you point those out to me? Because I watched it twice today, and I was like, it all just kind of points back to Mark. Everything I think that is Jake, they kind of like, oh yeah, and they'll come back and like that was Mark, and I was like, dang.
Yeah, so there was a scene where he was talking to Arthur in the office, and he slipped into a New York accent. And throughout this whole season, people have been like trashing his accent, not realizing that's happening on purpose. We haven't seen Jake yet, but his presence has been known. So why? And that led me to, again, the scales. Why is it just Steven and Mark and not Jake? Like, why is Jake repressed at this point and making like little flashes here and there? So it's kind of like the question, like, where's Jake? Like, where's Jake at this point?
Well, something's wrong because I think there could be a glimpse at the scene where I think he was gonna walk up to the guy and he told him to come in, and he was like, no, and he walked away and said, I'm not gonna do this. And then when he kind of like his eyes changed, I'm not gonna say his accent changed or anything, but I think that something in that moment could have represented Jake in like a quick flash, just because of how the setup is, because if you notice, even though they're going back in time, there's one of them, but he shifted his behavior, and there's two of them. That was Mark and Steven right there. I mean, that was still Steven in the past, but still that could have been another glimpse of something that may have shifted in his mind. I mean, it could be something like that, but there might be different glimpses of Jake in the situation. So
we've seen him a few times in this season, and I feel like there's probably more times that we just haven't caught yet. Yeah, maybe catch it on rewatch. So I mean, that's the biggest question mark for me.
Because I think we said that on the show. We were like, is there like a third? Like something happened and neither one of them did it. And
Yeah.
I think that's when we were like, wait a minute, there's a third personality, and I think that's when y'all were like, okay, that may be Jake.
Yeah, because Jake Lockley in comics is a cab driver, so from New York. So
From broke up from. Okay, all right.
yeah,
So this show is gaslighting me because I be thinking that I'm crazy or that I just don't catch shit.
No,
But
it's you. Look, it's the show. They're
it's-
doing it on purpose.
okay. So if
yeah.
I didn't have
I mean-
friends who know about Moon Knight to educate me, I really would think I'm crazy, and that I'm
Yeah, I
terrible
mean-
at my job. Like,
I haven't read like 100 Moon Knight comics, maybe like 30 in my whole life. I mean, it's just knowing small details there, it helps. But just the Egyptian aspect with this is taking over this episode. So
yeah,
One thing I also wanted to point out that I liked that what's her name? Towerette.
Hippolyta.
She said that this is not the afterlife, but it's one of them. And I thought that was really cool, especially in this Marvel universe, because you have Thor whole thing. They they believe in Valhalla. You have Steve Rogers. He is like a Christian. He believes in God Almighty. So there's a lot of different faiths in it, and I just think that that's cool that they put that in there too. Like, this isn't the afterlife, but there's a couple different ones. I thought that was interesting.
To back you up off that, Trey. So in Egyptian culture, I mean, Cam, you probably know this too, and D Money, that when you go to the realm or to the afterlife, it's not considered the afterlife in this situation, and even in Egyptian culture, because your soul, your spirit, it goes to the stars. It's connected to the stars through a realm. You don't necessarily die out. Your spirit is just still connected to another universe. So it's just, I like how they did like connect to each point. Especially like when they represented those statues of like not the judgment part, when they showed the different type of statues that had the different heads on it with like the different gods. Those are the gods also watching and judging in that moment as well. So I just thought that was just kind of interesting to show that.
Ooh, you know what, y'all? You said Anubis is the one who usually drives the boat.
I believe he weighs the scales.
Yeah.
What if he is also a statue?
But what did
That's
he
what
do?
I'm thinking.
What did they do? That's
RJ, do it matter? There's a power struggle. These motherfuckers over in that temple have been up to some stuff for some time, and that's when we got on there, I was like, this is wrong. Like, this is wrong. Where is Osiris?
So whose side are we supposed to be on? Like, who we rooting for? Like, what's up?
None of them at this point. Look.
On the side of Steven.
Yeah. But to piggyback off that was kind of cool. Like Trey and Jay, what you just said about the whole religion thing, it was cool to see that Mark is actually Jewish. So now his afterlife is in Egypt. So it was just kind of, I was curious. I was like, how do we get here? Like, but
I didn't even think about that.
What do y'all think this means for the rest of the MCU? Like, does that afterlife thing play out anywhere else, or you think this is going to kind of stay in Moon Knight?
Personally, I think it's still going to be around at some points, because a lot of souls will be collected, by whoever in the Marvel universe. I think especially in Doctor Strange, and I think there will be some kind of like afterlife or hell or something. But I think it just depends on how they're being judged and who also sends them to that location too.
We've also already seen one afterlife already in Black Panther.
Yeah.
So that's the point. Yeah.
Damn.
Yep.
Okay, this show, when you break down this show, it's really well layered. Like, we called it slow, but now I'm starting to think that it's just layered really well.
Oh yeah.
Well, because like
magic.
I mean, I know like. Oh, go ahead, Cam. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead.
Oh no, I was saying, like, I think last week I said it was like kind of like a slow burn or something like that. I mean, I don't know if y'all still feel like that, but I mean, I don't know what we're getting to, but the Egyptian culture that's tied to this is just it's gonna be tied to a lot of other things in the MCU, and I'm excited for it.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Cam. Go ahead.
No, it's just the whole magic aspect. It's here. It's here in a major way. Energy is energy. It doesn't die. It goes somewhere else. afterlife, another dimension, maybe a multiverse, we see that Amit's been taking souls before they're supposed to be taken.
Yeah.
And we got an uprising of zombies, Marvel zombies.
Ooh.
Who said that shit?
Damn. So Moon Knight is really like clutching right now.
I feel like they had to do Moon Knight to make everything that's coming up next work, because there was a missing piece. You couldn't connect those things before.
Yeah.
They can set the tone.
Yeah. Kind of like flesh out the world a little bit rather than just bringing in and people like, what the hell is going on?
Right.
Well, because here's the interesting thing too that I thought about. It's not like a theory or anything, but somehow if we, like I said, we talked about Eternals before.
Mm-hmm.
If there's some kind of Egyptian aspect that's going back to every single millennial or whatever, describing these different gods that have been here over time, and it's the Egyptian aspect of Moon Knight. I think it's going to connect to other gods and go and tell these unique stories of how these gods might, or how these origin stories have been told, or of how these gods are still around and they haven't even been destroyed yet, and they're still controlling these people, or they're still in another multiverse waiting to take over or something. So
all right, so where are we at in the story? We're on where they're balancing the scales, right?
And then it starts fluctuating.
Yeah, it starts getting crazy. So they go back inside, right? And I guess Steven, here's a little boy. Steven is a Mark. Steven here's a kid.
Mark.
Yeah.
Mark. Somebody here's a kid, and they start running. Well, I thought Mark was the murderer.
Mark is the murderer.
it was Mark.
Steven heard the kid. So Steven heard the kid, and he ran in, and he was like, "Why is there a little boy in a room full of people that you?"
Yeah. You got it.
So, damn. So Mark got some hands. A little better than Sam there. A little murderer. A little murder going on.
Who's Sam killed?
Nobody. Okay, Sam. Yo, so I knew it was bad, but damn, like he was naming people like Dubois, so he remembers everybody that he's killed, which is interesting. And he said something to the effect of like, wait till you kill someone or something like that. Like, I get he must be torn up. He got to be torn up on the inside, man.
Absolutely, you can't do things like that. I don't know. I think we look at media, we look at television, we look at movies, and even video games, and it kind of desensitizes you to kind of the reality of that is. But it takes somebody's life. You don't forget what it's like to watch someone's life leave their body and know that you're the cause of that. So I thought that was interesting, even that before we start delving deeper into the trauma, he already is carrying around some just from that experience.
Yeah.
Mark is messed up.
Yeah.
Mark got some things going on for sure.
He got baggage. He definitely does.
As we've seen in this episode, for sure.
Yeah, because when you walk into a room full of dead bodies, and your other half doesn't really know what happened because they're on the other side of your mind, it's kind of like, whoa, like this is you. I don't even know you. Like I thought I know you, but I don't. I do,
I'd have
but I
walked right
don't.
back out.
Yeah,
I'd have walked right back out. I saw all that. I'm like,
And I think that's a lot of his military training. I think he's killed a lot of people in the military too. So that's what happens in comics and stuff. So,
well, he did mention he was a mercenary, but that happens like a little later on. We kind of get to see proof of that, just his killing abilities. But the part that got me was when we started to kind of unfold Mark's childhood, with his brother that drowned in a cave. And let me just fucking say something here. Fuck the mom. Because you let two children go play in a cave that could have been flooded at any time. Like, you ever heard of a flash flood? And you let your kids go in and play and you blame your son? Who's the parent here? I don't fuck with kids. Y'all know that. But that wasn't their damn fault. That ain't shit to do with Mark. Hey, Mark, man, that's not his fault. So I just want to say, fuck the mom. Y'all can have it. So talk about that. Fuck that mom.
Like, she literally single-handedly fucked this man's life up for the rest of his life. Like, it's there. Ooh, Jesus. Is there coming back from that? Like, because
I don't know, but that's a good point. You know, Hare also blames Khonshu for the deeds he did his Moon Knight, because if you think about that, there's two people right now that we know, there's one body, but it seems like these two are trying to blame each other. But like, even though all this does go back to Khonshu, they're blaming each other, not realizing that that scene where they went into that cave and then they saw him bleeding out, and then he gave himself up to Khonshu. Mm-hmm. He's like, "No, Mark, I saved us." But it's like, did he really save himself? Because of like his other half is saying, "No, this life, this whole life has been a lie." So that's kind of deep.
Yeah. But she was a terrible mom, Shane. She's worse than Dee Dee Pickles. Terrible mother. Dee Dee Pickles is a trash mom too. Your kids are always somewhere where you're not. Come on. Come on. Like, kids ain't shit, but they deserve good parents.
Yeah, I would say, as far as what you said, I feel like that was her extremely irrational way of absolving herself of guilt for what she failed to do. It's like, okay, let's just project that on my child. Like, that's the thing to do.
You know, but also, what if Mark's mom had a split personality as well? Because when he ran up to the room, he was saying, "That's not my mom. That's not my mom. That's not my mom." And like, we don't know that for sure. It's just kind of a theory, but like, what if she also had that as well? And then that kind of, it's a genetic thing at this point. Because, mental illness can be genetic as well. So that stems off that. And then now we have Steven and, Jake, which they'll introduce sometime. Oh, also another thought I had, you remember in the last episode where they said Mark's partner was the one killing everyone? What if Mark is aware of Jake and he's saying that Jake took over at that point, and so he didn't technically kill Layla's dad, but Jake did. Jake, the partner.
And that's what I was.
Because he said he didn't kill him.
Yeah, and that's what I was saying, Trey. Because that's another glimpse of what we don't know. That's another question that's not answered. And I want to back up to what you said too, because this is important as well. I'm glad you said that mental health is also genetic. I don't think people understand how that can really affect the person just genetically. Think about it. Even if you're talking like just not on topic but off topic, you're talking about slavery. It just being the whole situation with black fathers not being there because they've been taken away from certain situations, and that carries on to genetics. There's so many mental parts that carry on, and if your parents maybe whatever racist or crazy, that can also be a part of you carrying on too. And in this situation, exactly. And Mark's father wasn't anybody. He exactly let the abuse continue because he switched bodies.
I want to talk about that shit because that pissed me off too. Because I feel like it's one thing to have one parent that's tripping and wilding, but to have your other parent sit there and watch the shit and then not do nothing about it, I feel like I blame him a little more because you're in your right mind. She fell into a depression and maybe she's not thinking right, but you're still here, but you're not like that. I feel like I don't fuck with him more than I don't fuck with her. I'm a little mad at her because I could see if, back to your point, Mo, I could see if Mark was like 16, 17 and still went. A child doesn't have the wherewithal to make the decision to not go into a cave when it's raining. So I could see if he was like 16, 17, you should have known better. Then I would blame you. But to blame like a 9-year-old for some shit that a 9-year-old would do come on. Yeah. But I blame the dad a little more because you are mentally here and you're still letting her. And I'm pretty sure he said, "Yo, she just beat my ass." And he was probably like, "Well, Mark, she's going through some tough." No, fuck that shit. Like,
but I feel like Mark is probably going through more of a tough time because he's sitting there thinking he killed his brother.
Yeah, but look at the trajectory of his life. Like, after all of that, he literally had no choice but to go into the military, which now leads him to a life of killing people. And she dies, the personalities bleed over. It's all jacked up right now, and it's because of his parents. Like, that boy never stood a chance.
They want me to come to the funeral. Get the fuck out of my face. Get out of here.
What?
They want me to come. He motioning like this to come inside. Get out of here.
And do what exactly? It doesn't make any sense.
That I don't know. Like that whole thing irritates. But I want to pick it back over what you said, Jay, which is absolutely true. Generational trauma is a thing, and I feel like, dang, this is why I like breaking shit down, because the smallest things, like, children are sponges. The younger you are, the more you can absorb things. Like, it even goes down to how often you're held as a baby responds to what your love language is later on in life. So, like, just that traumatic event of being responsible for your brother's death, your mother blaming you, and like abusing you mentally and physically over it, this created a crack in his mind. And even, you know, let's get into what Conchu said. Let's move on. Conchu said, I can sense you're broken, or I can sense he said something, but it's like, then why did you choose him? What was it like? Is no one coming around every 5,000 years, and you're like, fuck it, I need somebody, and you're just jumping in the mud? Like, why did you make that decision? Because you knew he was broken.
Yeah. It's like crazy. It's like an abusive boyfriend or girlfriend or something. It's like you targeted someone who's broken because you know the toxicity that you're about to bring into their life is going to allow you to control them. That's it. Yeah. You add powers to it. Shit, I don't want to lose my powers. I'm going to do what he said. Like,
yeah. What do y'all think about Conchu manipulating Mark? Do you think it was a manipulation, or do you think that he just was like, fuck it, somebody's here, let me just, you know, take what I can get?
I definitely think it was a manipulation, and it also kind of just fit. You know, Conchu's not a good dude. You know, we said that before. He is not a good dude. He gets his way, his vengeance. You know, he does definitely go after broken people, and Mark, he could sense that. You know, he's like, you are broken. I can see you right now. You're bleeding on my steps. I can save you from this death. You know, you can work for me and do my thing, and you know, you're still broken. I'm not going to help you with that brokenness, but you know, you'll be alive.
Better beast being dead, I guess.
Not manipulative.
I'm trying to figure out where we're at. My bad. I lost my place. I scrolled and I lost where the hell we were at. So I guess we'll just freestyle from here because I don't feel like Zoom like combing through all of this shit. Yeah. So what did you guys think of? And this is the part that broke me when Steven found out that the person he'd been talking to and calling mom is not real. Like, his mom is actually gone, and that shit broke me. That I definitely shed a tear.
Same.
Yeah. That's probably one of the sadder moments of Marvel for me.
He broke down and just got on his knees and started crying. And then Steven is watching this happen. And then you just see him switch personalities. Like, I was like, oh, man. And then it goes back to where it's like, that's not what you were created for.
Yeah.
Like, Mark created Steven so that he wouldn't have to deal with his pain, his trauma, and all of that. And I was like, dang, like, this episode was very deep. On the, you know, aspects of emotions, really, just the whole thing. And it was honestly a very powerful moment, I think.
Yeah. I was going to say, a part of that reminded me, for whatever reason, it brought me back to Days of Future Past, the scene where old Xavier is speaking to young Xavier. And he's basically saying, like, what you like, because I think at that point he is like taking that drug that basically is suppressing his powers, and like he's kind of like this broken husk at this point. And future Xavier basically is kind of telling him, like, what you like, basically what you fear is like is pain. And he even says young Xavier, or past Xavier even says like, I don't want suffering. You know, I don't want your future.
Yeah.
But you actually giving voice to those things, you recognizing those things, that is the key to changing this future. Otherwise, you are going to literally, you know, everything you feel like you're fighting against, you're going to cause.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I don't know that Steve is the ultimate defense mechanism, but I also feel like, I mean, he didn't do it on purpose, but I feel like it is kind of his way of self-preservation. You know, like, I can't deal with this. Mark cannot deal with this, so I'm going to put it all on Steven. Could you imagine being the personality that gets all the shit? Like, I see why Steven is such a wreck. You know, why he's a nervous, wreck.
I think that this gave a lot of insight into the dynamic also, because if you start to understand why Mark is the way he is with Steven, because in a sense he's protecting the little boy that Steven is currently today.
Yeah.
When something like that happens, or looking at it this way, Mark being the protector, Steven's kind of like the entity that he protects him from. But what happens when something comes along that Mark can't handle? I feel like he spit out another alter, which might be Jake. When Mark can't handle it, Jake comes in and takes it.
And that's what I was saying earlier, is that I think that in that moment it could have been Jake, but I mean, it clearly was Stephen Grant, you know, as a peer, but who knows? We just don't know what kind of manipulation that this show's going forward with. So,
you know, what made me laugh though, real quick, when he's after his real emotional moment, him breaking down, he just goes, "What? What? Where am I?"
Yeah, mom. Yeah.
I was like, dang.
Yeah. I don't know. I was kind of happy. I was like, okay, yeah, shut it off. Like, it's like Vampire Diaries. When you can't handle it, just switch it, shut it off. So I don't know. It was a very emotional episode. So, but when all of these things are happening, and Mark is learning about, well, Steve is learning about what happened to Mark, the scales are balancing. But unfortunately, before they got to the field of reeds. I see the wheat, and I keep want to say cream of wheat. Like, field of cream of wheat. I don't know why, but they got to the field of cream of wheat, and I guess the scales weren't balanced. So the sand creatures, the duat, right? Yeah. Decide to, I guess, take them, and they kind of battle back and forth. One thing leads to another, and Steven actually falls over and was saving Mark. He falls overboard, and now his soul has been taken by the duat, and he turns to sandstone, whatever. But I wanna point out something that I saw on TikTok. Someone had said that in the first episode, there was a little girl, and she had said something to the effect of like, how does it feel to be rejected by the field of reeds? And he said something along the lines of, well, I'd have to be dead in order to be rejected by the field of reeds. So I feel like that's foreshadowing, is that maybe he's going to be rejected and sent back. What do y'all think about that?
Absolutely. Because I mean, you know, some kind of spirit still has to be connected to his mind, because, you know, they are part of each other. So I think that, there's going to be some kind of a Moon Knight redemption or something. I want to see it.
Yeah. You can't have an incomplete soul in hell or in heaven or wherever you go.
Oh, maybe that's why they send it
There's
back.
only one soul. I don't care how many people live in that soul, but once you sell it, whoever you sell it to, they don't pick, oh, I just want Stevens. No, they want the whole thing.
Yeah, won't go to hell. We all going to hell.
Right.
Okay. Yeah.
You know, I thought that this whole scene was pretty interesting. Because first of all, when the duat came, I thought I was about to see like some monsters, something like that, like some jackals.
Yeah.
And I was like, they came up. I was like, these regular people? are these just sand people? And but I like that whole thing, is like the unclaimed souls. I thought that was really cool. But then when Steven fell over and the scales balanced, that kind of made me, because the whole time I was like, who is making the scales imbalanced? And then as you watch the episode, as Mark is like facing his trauma, they're starting to get more balanced. And I think that Steven is essentially the embodiment of his trauma. So when Steven fell overboard, his trauma fell overboard as well. Now his soul is complete.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Well done. Okay. Boom. I get it now. So if do you guys think would have made a difference if Mark would have fell over then? Or you think they would just went to hell if Mark fell over? If Mark fell over, you think Steven would just went to hell?
He would have had to go wherever Mark went. I don't think Mark's different. He's the primary.
Yeah.
So he's always been there.
Yeah.
So something happens to him, everything's done. That's a wrap right there. But unfortunately, Steven, you're expendable. Sorry.
Damn.
I don't want him to be. But...
I mean, it's the truth. It's the truth.
Hey, but Steven kind of went off before he went overboard.
Yeah.
Started messing that. He like body slammed dude. So I was like, oh, Steven. What was this before?
Like, where that been at?
And maybe that's part of why the scales like did end up balancing. Like you said, it's the trauma, but there's also the thing of the acceptance of what's happening here, of what's happened. And now that you're able to process it, you've gone through this journey, you've seen it from an objective standpoint.
Yeah.
Now you can reconcile with it, you know?
Want to hit on what Mo said. I think that little girl may be an avatar. I think she may be an avatar. Are there any Egyptian gods that deal with like future or anything like that? I don't know.
I'm sure.
The only god that I know about is Thoth, and that's like an old Egyptian like fox god. I think that has to do with like some aspect of that and like time or something. So
that particular god was missing. He should have been there with Anubis.
Yeah.
As the scribe or whatever they're called.
Yeah.
That's why I was like, when that scene came on, I'm like, this is wrong.
Yeah.
Like, this is wrong. And I think at one point, I keep forgetting her name. The hippo lady, she was like, no, these souls, somebody's taking souls before they've transitioned. She actually said that shit out loud. So I was like,
when they're all falling from the sky.
Yeah.
Definitely Mo. He should have flipped. Should have did a flip.
Flip save lives.
Flip save lives.
Yeah, I mean, so I don't know. Overall, I really enjoyed this episode. I like a good episode that kind of builds on the character, but still kind of pushes the story forward a little bit. Even though we didn't get answers, I feel like the story was pushed forward. I do feel like maybe they could have shortened the first 2 episodes and kind of made that one and put more on the back end. Because like I think D, you said it, we are only have one more episode to go. Like, what could they possibly put in to kind of fill that gap that we didn't get? But overall, I definitely enjoyed the episode. Did I miss anything? Anything else we got to bring up?
I don't think so.
I think we touched on everything. Yeah.
I mean, besides the end, with the Black Panther scene, that was pretty epic. That's about it.
What?
Well, just like the ancestral plane and all that.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I was about to say, I did not.
No, I knew you did something.
Trey always think I'm crazy saying something.
I was like, I definitely missed that one.
The queen of the cream of wheat. Yeah.
Yeah.
So my question for y'all is, how do you think, because obviously we only have one more episode, how do you think that Mark is going to get his body back? Like, did Towerette send a message to Layla like they were asking her to do, or like what's going on? What do y'all think?
I think they're gonna free Khonshu. Someone's gonna free Khonshu. He's gonna make a deal with Mark or Steven again, to be his avatar. And because can they use dead bodies? Damn, wait, I don't even know that. Jay, do you know if they can use dead bodies? Because he got shot. He dead, right? He dead.
Oh yeah, he's dead.
Yeah,
they
so
probably have to resurrect him.
Okay.
Yeah, They can definitely resurrect him in some way.
Yeah. I don't think they could possess a dead body though.
Is this our transition into Marvel Zombies live action?
I feel like that was a smart decision for him coming off the boat like that because we got him a few times in that episode.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm just gonna say this series was here to bridge a gap for something we haven't gotten yet. They couldn't do whatever it was without this series, and this is the way they're gonna introduce it.
Fair enough. That's a good point, Magneton Media LLC. Breaking down Marc, Steven, and Jake. When Jake come, okay. I need to see what's gonna happen when Jake hit the scene.
Jake's gonna go off.
You got an interesting backstory too. In comics.
I'm not too familiar. I probably need to do some research because this show makes me think I'm crazy every time I watch it, and it's super gaslighting. But what would you ask? How they gonna bring back?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So who could free Khonshu? Does the hippo have the power to free people? She's a god, right? She can free people.
She might know where he's at, but I don't think she wants to step on the toes of who made Khonshu, and that's not Osiris. Is it? It's someone else.
Well, Osiris is the
was the main to the statue.
It was because Osiris or anything like that.
Charge.
Yeah, just
step on the toes of him. So I don't know if she's gonna be the one, but she might direct whoever.
Okay.
Because he's in on it. Like who else?
I feel like there's factions amongst the gods. That's
there
is happened. There's factions amongst the gods.
And I think that's been a theme with this series. What exactly is good and what exactly is bad? That doesn't mean anything to the gods.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean anything as long as they're getting worship and getting just like American Gods, the TV show. They're getting their attention.
Yeah.
As long as it aligns with whatever their end goal is, they're cool with it.
And you want to know why, Cam? Because this whole episode was not just based on just emotions. This whole episode was based on judgment.
Mm-hmm. All judging us. Okay, the scale, the heart. Okay, balancing the scales. Okay, I like that. Damn, Moon Knight episode 5 was lit. Not gonna lie, I definitely enjoyed it more than the other ones in the series. Before we get out of here, anyone have anything else they want to add before we, end the live?
I just want to see Trey come through a portal and just punch Deadpool, and that's it.
I do it. I think we still have room for one more cameo. Somewhere in this last episode, we can get a cameo of someone. Blade's pinky, like they can make it happen, Marvel.
That's all I gotta say. Just cameo.
Yeah, we might. I'm not gonna bank on it because we didn't get Mephisto, so I'm not gonna bank on it.
He's around. He's still chilling.
He's around. Mephisto's the ones who turns the gods against each other.
There we go.
It's been Mephisto all along.
All along. So thank you guys for tuning in before we get out of here. D, where can we find you at, brother?
Oh, you can find me on YouTube at capital D capital MOVIEMAN. You can also find me at D Movieman, no caps on Instagram and Letterboxd, Movieman D on Twitter, and then also D Movieman on TikTok.
Cool. Killer Cam, where can we find you at, man?
You can find us at Blerd Up Reacts on all platforms. Finally got that lined up, so we all good now.
Cool. Trey, where can we find you at, bro?
Y'all can get me on Twitch, TikTok, and Instagram at the Fly Spider Guy. And if you want my opinion, I will not lie. So you can also look at me. There's your catchphrase. Okay.
Thank you.
And then also make sure you guys check out my t-shirt shop, triggertradetees.com. And that's trigger with the A, not an ER, because I'm with the culture.
Cool. And Jay, where can we find you at? Hero Harrison, what you got going on, man?
YouTube, TikTok, Twitch. Got some more crazy content coming. Gonna do some more comic book stuff. Lots of content coming, man. So just be ready.
Cool. And you can find me across most social media platforms at the Avatar RAJ. Make sure you follow me on TikTok at the Serial Binger Show. Hold on, is there a there or not? I'm sorry, I'm new to it. The Serial Binger. Yeah, follow that on TikTok. I'm a little full of myself right now. I have 82 followers, so if I don't get to your comment, just know that I'm busy with my other 82 followers. So just I won't let it get to my head too much, but it's just hard being this famous. So that being said, thank you guys for tuning in. I really enjoyed this conversation. Make sure you join us back here same time next week for the finale of Moon Knight. So with that being said, Blerd is Bond.
Blerd is Bond.
Blerd is bound.